Genesis, the world's first team of black superheroes, by Teresa Dowell-Vest. Interior, Tolson's parents' bedroom, morning. A digital clock reads 7 o'clock. We see Allegra and Donovan Tolson, a young African-American couple, in bed, sound asleep. 4 children run into the room and jump on the bed, awakening the parents. The children are excited, wanting desperately for their parents to wake up. Jumping on the bed are the Tolsons' 4 oldest children, Tage 6, and twins Xavier and Xander 5, and Jordan 4.
Genesis is the story of the world's first team of black superheroes. Genesis is everything I wanted Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and all the superhero characters I grew up watching. It's everything I wanted them to be for me as a young black kid growing up. Loved Superman, but I felt like I always needed someone that looked like me.
In 1987, you were all placed with loving families. For the last 20 years, I have been watching you. I know everything about you, about each of you. I know things about you, things you do not know about yourselves.
I've built Genesis to have its mythology rooted in American history, real American history. Genesis is the story of 2 parents, Donovan and Allegra Tolson, who are scientists. They're children of the Civil Rights Movement. They're products of the survivors of the Tuskegee experiments in Tuskegee, Alabama. Tuskegee, you say that 3 times fast. Anyway, so Donovan and Allegra grew up seeing how science can be misused and abused and mishandled, and having a passion for exploring new things, finding new things. They grew up and became scientists themselves and decided they were going to give their children the possibility of being great by giving them these gifts, these powers.
You want to spend the night talking in riddles, or you want to tell us why we're here?
You each have a gift. Gifts which make you extraordinary.
The main characters of Genesis include 5 siblings, our heroes, 5 siblings. When we first meet our siblings, they're young children. Tage, she's actually 6 when we first meet her, and she has the power to connect with Earth. For instance, if she touched something green, she can make it grow. And when she becomes an adult, she is able to create whips out of vines, and she has these beautiful dreadlocks that cascade down her shoulder, and she's earthy. Her skin tone is nice and rich and brown. The 2 twins, they're the next in line, just behind her. Xavier, he is 5, as well as his twin sister, Xander. And they're twins, always connected with each other, so much in love with each other, but at the same time, they're each other's greatest nemesis. They're polar opposites of each other, and for that reason, they've been given the powers of fire and water. Fire for Xander, water for Xavier. The next child in line is Jordan. Jordan is 4 when we first meet her, and Jordan is able to connect with wind. She's more of a recluse, and even as she grows up as an adult, she's still the loner of the pack, but she's connected to her power as being the silent one in a sense. Okay, and then the final of the main heroes, the main characters, is Quincy. And Quincy, when we first meet him, is 2. Donovan has concocted this idea that giving him a connection to technology, literally hooking him up to a computer and feeding information, knowledge, this encyclopedia of stuff into him. So he's this walking whiz kid from day one. And when we see him later as an adult, we pick him up when he's a senior at USC, and he's a physics major, and he never really had to work much for his grades growing up. He didn't know how he knew stuff, he just knew he knew.
Quincy is 8. He is sitting in the classroom reading a comic book.
I'm just reading a comic.
Watch.
Young Quincy goes to the board and correctly solves an elaborate math problem.
That's his power? He solved the math problem on the board.
The students in the class are revealed. They are all adults, scientists.
It was a quantum physics class at NASA.
But there are also 5 villains. And the 5 villains include Azure. Azure is this beautiful black woman. And she has the power to connect with all things cold. She can create icicles made of daggers and throw them. She can freeze you upon touching. There's also Slick, this character Slick, and he is able to create oil. There's this battle that he has with Xavier in the water, and the oil is going in constant competition with the water, and they battle all the time, but don't really realize that when they're adults, they're actually working with each other. They're both lawyers, but they don't know that the other is a villain and the other is a hero. There's the character Lalo. But Lalo is this Polynesian dude who has the ability to create lava. And he creates this molten earth, basically, that is almost treated like fire, but once it's on you, it sticks. It's like you could put fire out, but with his power, you can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of it. It's just on you, or it's on the wall, or he uses it in a way where it's slow and it's very purposeful. Then there's the character Esau, and he has the connection to sand. He's like the Sandman character in a sense. And then the youngest of the villains is a young woman named Rachel. And Rachel and Quincy meet in the classroom. She too is a physics major at USC. And her power actually explains why she's a physics major and why she loves it so much, is that she has the power to clone herself, not by copying herself, but by dividing herself. So essentially, she has the power of splitting herself like an atom.
What do you think all this means?
What?
All this fighting for justice and good and whatnot?
Quincy smiles the biggest smile on his face can muster. The rest of the team sees it and smiles with him.
Go ahead and say it.
You mean us all being superheroes? Yeah.
They all chuckle. Quincy is too cute for any of them to deny at this point.
Yes, us being superheroes and all. What does all this mean? Can we live our normal lives and fight crime at the same time?
Well, yeah. I mean, just look at Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne. They both had lives outside of being superheroes. Looked at Dr. David Banner. I mean, he...
Bad example. I've had my fill of mad scientists for today.
The team begins walking to their bikes. They each get on their respective bikes. As they're getting on and putting on their earpieces.
Okay. Well, since we're all on the same page now about being superheroes, I gotta tell y'all, I found the theme song.
The other members grumble as they rev up their bikes and pull off. Quincy pulls off his trike right behind them. Exterior, street afternoon. Quincy speaks to the team over their earpieces.
Yo, I got the song, and I am telling you, once you hear it, you will say, yes, this is the theme song.
Okay, alrighty, play the damn song.
Quincy works the selector on his iPod. He stops at the song and presses play. We hear Can You Feel It by the Jack. It's a big smile out of the other team members. Oh my goodness, son!
What?
I haven't heard this song in a minute. I'm Michael.
From one Superfly family to another.
Come on, y'all. Let's take a ride to this.
They each kick their bikes into turbo and ride up the street. They weave in and out of the cars to the triumph sounds of their theme song.
See, I told y'all we needed a theme song.
Blackout. The end.